In this video, I will be showing you how to design the adjustable rod length part of Epione Biotech's handheld suture device. So this part consists of an outer tube, as shown here, as well as an inner tube, which will slide into each other to create adjustable rod length. So first off, I will walk you through the outer tube. So first you're going to open up SolidWorks and make sure your units are set to IPS for inches. And we're going to start off by making a sketch on the top plane. So as you can see right here, there's a sketch made right here. And what you'd want to do is make a circle that is centered at the origin with a diameter of 1.38 and an outer diameter of 1.5. So both of these circles will be centered at the origin to make it fully defined. And from there, you would extrude boss the space between the two circles, as you can see here. So you'd want to extrude it blindly 7 inches. So this would create the entire cylinder of the outer tube. Next off, we will want to create a reference plane. As you can see right here, plane 4. So to create this reference plane, you go to reference geometry, insert reference plane, and you want to select the top plane of the part and make the plane offset from the top plane by 0.75 inches, which is the radius of the outer circle. This will create a reference plane that is tangent to the cylindrical face, as you can see. So using this reference plane, you'll be able to make a new sketch, as shown here, on which you can draw circles that will be our holes. So the next step would be you'd want to convert entities, and you will select the edges right here of the cylinder. The reason you want to do this is so that you can have some reference geometry for your circles to make them fully defined. So the next step would be to draw a 0.26 circle right here that is 1 inch offset from this edge. It is 0.26 because that is the size of the pin that will go through this hole is 0.25. So we wanted to account for printing tolerances, and 1 inch, so that that distance corresponds with the distance of the hole on the inner tube, so that the holes will line up for a pin to go through. So after making this hole, you would want to extrude cut through all to create a hole that cuts through both ends of the cylinder. And then next you want to create another sketch on that same reference plane. And following the same methodology, you would convert the same entities and the center line to create 2 more holes that are also 0.26 in diameter, that are arranged as so from the other edge. Now these 2 holes will be aligned in such a way that when inserted into the handle to rod connector piece, the 2 holes of this rod will align with that piece so that bolts can be put through to secure in place. So after making these holes, you will again extrude cut through all. And after that, you will have your completed outer tube. Now a similar process was followed to create the inner tube, wherein a sketch was made on the top plane of 2 circles. Now the difference here was these 2 circles had diameters that were respectively smaller than the diameters of the outer tube, fittingly, so that the inner tube can slide into the outer tube. And after that, that sketch was extruded 6 inches this time, blindly to create a cylinder, after which another reference plane was made, similarly tangent to the cylindrical face. And on this reference plane, a sketch was made where 3 holes were placed, each 1.5 inches apart, again 0.25 inches in diameter for the size of the cotter pin that it will pass through. The distance between the 3 holes was predetermined to create different size rod lengths when assembled together. A second sketch was made, creating this hole right here that is 0.39 inches away from this edge, and this hole aligns with the hole that would go with a lateral hinge, which would be placed on top of this. With the 2 holes aligned, a bolt will be placed through again to secure it in place. And after making those cuts through all of the cylinder, you would have your inner tube. And that about concludes it. Happy SolidWorks!